Welcome, and listen carefully, because this may be the most important message you've heard in your entire life. This video is not for everyone. This is for the broken, the tired, the ones who are constantly giving, constantly explaining, constantly pleasing others, but inside feel empty. This is for those who have been used, ignored, laughed at, betrayed, underestimated, and still kept going. But now it's time to stop trying to please. Now it's time to stop proving yourself. Now it's time to disappear. Yes, disappear. Not to escape, but to rebuild. There is something powerful about stepping back from the world. Something dangerous, something mysterious, something spiritual. When you disappear, you take back your time. You take back your mind. You take back your life. You cut the noise. You stop the fake smiles. You stop replying to people who don't deserve your energy. You stop showing up to places where your presence is only used, not respected. And instead, you enter the shadows, the quiet, the dark room where champions are made. Where confidence is built without claps. Where success is born without status. Where the real you, the strong, fearless, disciplined version of you, finally begins to wake up. Becoming unavailable is not selfish, it's survival. Working in silence is not weakness, it's power. Building yourself when no one is watching, that is when you become unstoppable. Because one day when you reappear, you won't look the same. You won't talk the same. You won't even think the same. You'll walk into a room and people will feel something has changed and they won't know what it is. But you will. You'll know what you did in the dark. You'll know what you sacrificed. You'll know who you became. So I dare you. I dare you to disappear for 1 year. Stop explaining, stop chasing people, stop proving, and start building in silence, in discipline, in focus. Today, I will give you 4 of the most powerful stages that change thousands of lives around the world, and they will change yours too. 1. How to disappear. 2. What to do in the shadows. 3. How to return unrecognizable. 4. Become the person you never thought you could be. Don't skip this. Don't pause it. Don't say, "I'll watch it later." Because if you're here, there's a reason. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just overdue for your transformation. And while this video will motivate and inspire you, it will also help improve your English. You'll learn powerful vocabulary, emotional expressions, and clear sentence structures, all in simple English, perfect for beginners. So, as you transform your life, you'll also grow your language skills step by step. Watch till the end, because this might be the moment your life begins again. Stage 1. How to disappear. Disappearing is an art. It's not something you do because you're scared. It's something you do because you're finally ready to take yourself seriously. In a world that worships loud voices, those who disappear become the most dangerous because they're not distracted. They're not performing. They're not chasing likes, validation, or fake success. They're building silently, day after day. And it starts with a mindset shift. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe them replies. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them smiles while you're dying inside. You don't owe them your energy. You owe it to yourself to become the version of you that you were always meant to be. Let me explain it in brutal honesty. Disappearing means you start protecting your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. You stop giving your energy to gossip, to pointless conversations, to people who only call when they need something. Do you know why you're tired all the time? Not because you work too much, but because you give too much to the wrong people, to the wrong places, to the wrong habits. When you disappear, you learn to preserve your soul. You stop explaining your pain to people who just want to watch you suffer. Some people don't want to help you. They just want to know what's going wrong so they can feel better about themselves. Disappearing teaches you this. Not everyone deserves access to your struggles. It's not being fake. It's being wise. You stop updating people about your goals and dreams. You don't need to tell the world what you're planning. Build quietly. Let the results scream. Some people pretend to cheer for you, but deep down they hope you fail. They're not clapping. They're counting. Disappearing removes the audience. It gives you your stage back. A private space to become who you need to be without judgment, pressure, or noise. You become unavailable and unapologetic. You stop picking up calls that drain you. You stop going to events that bore your soul. You stop showing up for people who wouldn't even notice if you were gone. You stop saying yes just because you're afraid to say no. Disappearing means saying yes to yourself for the first time in a long time. Now that you understand the soul of disappearing, let me give you the 4 most important steps to actually do it. Step 1. Cut everything that doesn't serve your growth. Look around your life like a surgeon. Cut every single thing that's holding you back. Apps, people, habits, time wasters. If you're watching 4 hours of random videos every day, texting 15 people who bring you 0 peace, scrolling endlessly for no reason, you are drowning your future. Delete, block, exit, log out. No explanations. Your peace doesn't need permission. Step 2. Create a private world for yourself. You don't need to leave the country. You don't need to run into the mountains, but you do need a private world. A space where you wake up early, read things that fuel your mind, write goals that give you direction, plan habits that build your body and mind. A place where no one knows what you're doing, but you're working harder than ever. This is the secret of every winner you admire. Step 3. Accept the loneliness. It's part of the transformation. Yes, it will feel lonely. You'll miss people. You'll feel weird when your phone is silent. But that silence, that's the sound of your old life fading and your new identity being born. In that loneliness, you'll find clarity. You'll hear your own voice again without everyone else's opinions. Don't fear the loneliness. Fear going another year living a life you hate. Step 4. Commit like your life depends on it. Don't disappear for 2 days and come back. Don't disappear for attention. Don't announce your break. Just do it for real. No one needs to know. Disappear for 30 days, then 90, then 1 year. Give it everything. Give it your soul, and watch what happens. Because when you disappear, you don't just escape the world. You create your own. Stage 2. What to do in the shadows. So, you've disappeared. You've walked away from the noise. You've become unavailable to the world that drained you. But now the real question begins. What do you do in the shadows? Because this is where most people fail. They leave the crowd, but they don't grow. They disappear, but they don't evolve. They isolate themselves, but they don't transform. They confuse hiding with healing. And that's the difference between running away and rising again. Stage 2 is not about being alone. It's about using that aloneness to build something extraordinary. This is your cocoon. This is your cave. This is where the old version of you dies, and the unshakable, unstoppable, unrecognizable version of you begins to breathe. In the shadows, there are no likes, no praise, no attention, no cheering. Just silence, just work, Just the sound of your breath and your heartbeat saying, "Keep going." You're becoming someone powerful. Let me tell you exactly what this stage means. This is where your discipline is tested. This is where you face your truth without excuses. This is where your routines are born. Your body is built. Your mind is rewired. Your goals are designed, and your habits are carved like stone. In the shadows, nobody sees your struggle. But that's the point, because when they see you again, they won't see the pain. They'll see the results. This stage is about becoming so good in private that when you return, the world is shocked. Not because you bragged, not because you posted, but because you worked when no one was watching. Now, let me give you 4 powerful, detailed, and brutally real steps for what to do in the shadows. Step 1. Create a silent routine that no one knows about. Let me tell you something that changed lives. When you control your time, you control your life. While others are waking up at 9 a.m. scrolling through their phones, you will already be 2 hours into your day. Not watching, not waiting, but winning. Create a routine that becomes your secret weapon. No one needs to know what time you wake up. No one needs to know what you're studying, reading, or planning. Let it be sacred. Let it be yours. There was a woman who worked as a cleaner in a hotel. Every day she cleaned toilets, made beds, and picked up after strangers. No one ever looked at her twice. No one asked about her dreams. To them, she was just the cleaning lady. But what they didn't know was this. Every night, after cleaning rooms for 10 hours straight, she went home, opened her second-hand laptop, and studied silently. She didn't go out with friends. She didn't post motivational quotes. She didn't complain. She studied English on old YouTube videos. She learned business skills from free blogs. She practiced speaking in front of her mirror. She wrote her goals on paper and read them every day. She had no fancy degree, no mentor, no followers, just hunger and silence. 2 years later, she owns a cleaning company in 3 cities. She hires other struggling women. She gives free online classes for poor girls. And yes, she speaks fluent English. She once said in an interview, "Nobody saw my struggle. Nobody clapped when I was learning alone. But that's what made me strong. I didn't need noise. I just needed time." Step 2. Learn skills that make you dangerous. In the shadows, you must become a student again. Not in school, in life. You don't need money. You don't need a classroom. You just need obsession. Use your time to learn the skills that the old version of you was afraid of. Read books on confidence. Watch interviews of people who failed and succeeded. Learn communication. Practice English. Study marketing. Build your focus. Upgrade your mindset. Write. Journal. Reflect. Your shadows should feel like a secret laboratory. Every single day you're experimenting, learning, evolving in silence. Imagine this. A tiny seed is buried deep in the soil. It's dark. It's cold. There's no light. No one sees it. No one claps for it. No one says, "Wow, look at that seed." It is alone. But the seed doesn't stop. Slowly, quietly, it starts to grow. First, it sends roots down deep into the ground. Then, day by day, it pushes upward toward the sunlight. There's no music, no motivation, no crowd watching. There's only silence and hard work. The wind pushes it. The rain hits it. The heat burns it. But it keeps growing. It never gives up. Weeks pass. Months pass. One day, a small green plant breaks through the soil. People walk by and say, "Oh, how beautiful." But they don't know the truth. They don't know how long it stayed underground. They don't know how many days it struggled in darkness. They don't know how strong it had to become just to rise. And years later, it becomes a tree, big, strong, unshakable, giving shade, fruits, and flowers. Not because it was lucky, not because someone helped it, but because it kept growing silently when no one believed in it. This is your reminder. You don't need to show the world your plans. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need noise to grow. You need patience, action, and silence. Because true success doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens underground, when no one is watching. Step 3. Strengthen your mind and body without telling anyone. When people disappear, they often forget their body. But your body is your temple, your energy source, your discipline mirror. Every single day in the shadows, you must be doing something to strengthen your body. You don't need a gym, just a floor and the will to move. Start with push-ups. Walk daily. Do deep breathing. Stretch. Eat less junk. Drink more water. Sleep early. This is how your body becomes part of your comeback. At the same time, train your mind. Affirmations, meditation, visualization. Talk to yourself with power, not pain. Tell your mind what your future will look like, and then go build it. A man who struggled with panic attacks decided to delete all apps for 60 days. He walked 5 kilometers every morning in silence. He stopped sugar, slept 7 hours a night, and repeated this phrase every morning. I am not who I was. I am who I'm becoming. After 2 months, his panic attacks stopped. Not from pills, but from self-respect. Step 4. Track your progress, but keep it to yourself. Most people quit because they don't see instant results. But when you're in the shadows, you don't need fast, you need forward. Start tracking your progress daily. Make it visual. A notebook, a chart, a tracker. Every time you read for 30 minutes, check it. Every time you practice English, note it. Every time you work out, record it. Not to post, not to brag, but to remind yourself, I'm doing this. I'm moving forward. I'm not stuck anymore. For example, there was a young guy who was failing every exam. He started studying in silence, 2 hours a night. He made a wall calendar. Every day he completed his study goal, he marked a red X. After 100 days, his wall was filled with 100 red X's. He didn't tell a soul. The next exam, he passed with the highest score in his class. And still he said nothing, because he knew. Let my results speak. My work is louder than my words. This is what the shadows are for. Not for hiding, but for healing. Not for waiting, but for building. Not for escaping, but for evolving. Every second you spend in silence can become a weapon of strength. Every day you go unnoticed is one step closer to becoming unforgettable. This is the stage that most people skip. But if you stay here, if you build your routine, your skills, your body, and your soul in silence, then when you return, they won't recognize you. And that's the goal. Stage 3. How to reappear and shake the world without a sound. You disappeared. You cut the noise. You stopped explaining. You went into the shadows. You built yourself in silence. You suffered in silence. You grew in silence. Now the world has forgotten about you. And that's exactly what you wanted. Because now, it's time. It's time to return. But not as the same person. You don't come back to talk. You come back to show. You don't come back for attention. You come back as the answer. Stage 3 is not about being loud. It's about being unforgettable. Let me explain what this stage really means. When you reappear after transformation, you must understand. This is not about revenge. This is not about proving anyone wrong. This is about proving yourself right. You come back with the discipline you built, the power you created, the self-respect you earned, the habits you carved, the peace that now lives in your body. And you let it speak for you. No grand announcement, no "I'm back" post, no drama, just quiet presence and undeniable growth. When people see you now, they should pause. Their eyes should widen. They should feel something different. Not because you're trying, but because you are changed. That's the energy of true power. Now, let me give you 4 powerful, deeply real steps for how to reappear in a way that shocks the world without saying a single word. Step 1. Return in peace, not in pieces. Just like Nelson Mandela did. When you come back after disappearing, the world will expect 2 things from you. 1, that you're still bitter. 2, that you're still broken. So when you return and they see your calm, your peace, your quiet confidence, it will disturb them more than your anger ever could. This is what Nelson Mandela did. He was in prison for 27 years. Not 27 hours, not 27 days, 27 years. He was beaten. He was humiliated. He was silenced. But when he returned, he didn't shout. He didn't attack. He walked out of prison with peace in his eyes and purpose in his heart. He didn't return for revenge. He returned to lead. And he became the president of South Africa. That's how you reappear. Not with noise, but with inner power. That kind of energy is unforgettable. Step 2. Let your work speak louder than your voice. When you reappear, don't come back trying to explain what you did during your time away. Don't waste time proving that you've changed. Just let your results speak. Keanu Reeves disappeared from Hollywood multiple times. He lost people he loved. He faced personal pain that would destroy most people. And he didn't go on interviews crying for sympathy. He didn't post online for attention. He just came back and gave the world movies that left people in awe. John Wick wasn't just a movie. It was a message. I'm still here, and I'm better than ever. No shouting, no drama, just quiet, powerful presence. That's how you return. Let your work, your results, your energy speak louder than any post, caption, or story. Step 3. Carry yourself like you don't need the world's approval. When Cristiano Ronaldo first started playing football, people laughed at him. They said he was too skinny, too flashy, too emotional. But do you know what he did? He disappeared into his training. He trained harder than anyone else. He rejected partying, distractions, and comfort. He worked alone when no one was watching. And when he reappeared on the world stage, he didn't explain his transformation. He just let his goals do the talking. Now he walks into any room, any country, and the crowd stands up. Why? Because he doesn't need their approval. He already approved himself. His confidence doesn't shout. It moves silently, and it shakes the world. That's what you must do. When you return, do not ask, "Do they accept me?" Ask, "Am I proud of who I've become?" Because if the answer is yes, then nothing else matters. Step 4. Stay silent even when you win. When Kobe Bryant came back from an injury, people said he was finished, too old, too broken, too late. But Kobe didn't post about his workouts. He didn't cry online. He didn't blame anyone. He just worked, day, night, alone. And when he returned, he dropped 60 points in his final game. That night, He didn't scream. He didn't jump around. He just smiled, nodded, and walked away with grace. Because real power doesn't need to shout. It just shows up, delivers, and leaves quietly. That's the level of transformation we're talking about. So, when you reappear, here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to explain where you've been. You don't need to justify your silence. You don't need to post your comeback. You don't need anyone to clap, because your comeback was never for them. It was for you. Your glow is now undeniable. Your energy is now rare. Your focus is now sharp. People will notice. People will whisper. People will ask, "Where did you go? What happened to you? How did you change so much?" And you just smile and you say, "I was working in the dark, and now the light speaks for itself." That is how we reappear silently, powerfully, with work so solid, with peace so heavy, with focus so unshakable that no one can ignore you. Stage 4. Become the person you never thought you could be. You disappeared. You built in silence. You reappeared with fire in your soul. Now comes the final stage, the one most people never reach. It's not about proving anything. It's not about revenge. It's not even about success. This final stage is about becoming the person you never thought you could be, the version of you that used to feel like a dream, the one you once thought was too late, too far, not for someone like me. This is where the real transformation begins, because true power isn't just about changing your life, it's about changing your identity. Most people stop after the comeback. They achieve a little success, they feel proud, and then they go back to comfort. They start posting again. They start listening to opinions again. They start slowing down. But the rare few, they push further. They say, "If I came this far, how far can I really go? If I could change this much, who else can I become?" That's the mindset of people who make history. That's the mindset of people who leave a legacy. That's the mindset of people who go from ordinary to unstoppable. This stage is not about what the world sees. It's about what you believe about yourself. Now that you've grown, this is the moment where you stop surviving and start designing. You become a creator, not just of routines, not just of goals, but of your entire future identity. This is the version of you who walks into rooms with quiet authority, who doesn't beg for opportunities, but creates them, who is calm, consistent, focused, and deeply at peace with who they are. Now, let me show you how to step into that final transformation. Step 1. Build a new identity with new standards. After you reappear, you must create a new identity. Not based on your past, not based on your pain, but based on your potential. You can't live your new life with old habits. You can't carry your future with your past mindset. You have to sit down with yourself and say, "This is who I am now. This is how I live. These are my standards, and I don't negotiate with myself anymore." David Goggins is a perfect example. Not a celebrity in the beginning, but a real person who transformed beyond belief. He used to be overweight, depressed, insecure, and full of excuses. But then he decided to become a Navy SEAL, the hardest military training in the world. He didn't just lose weight. He didn't just get fit. He completely rebuilt his identity. He began waking up at 4 a.m. Running for hours, studying for hours, suffering in silence. Every single day he trained his mind to embrace pain, discomfort, and discipline. He didn't tell people what he was doing. He just became unbreakable. Today, people don't see his past. They see a mental monster, a best-selling author, a global inspiration. And guess what? He wasn't born that way. He built it, day by day, decision by decision. So can you. Step 2. Master one skill at a world-class level. If you want to become someone powerful, respected, and truly free, you must master something. One skill, one craft, one obsession. You don't need to be good at everything. You just need to be so good at one thing that the world cannot ignore you. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was once a struggling single mother on welfare, depressed with a failed marriage and no support. But she wrote in silence in cafes while raising her child. She wrote not for likes, not for followers, but because she had a message. Every night, every early morning, she wrote. 12 publishers rejected her. She kept writing. Eventually, one said yes. Today, Harry Potter is not just a book, it's the biggest book series in history. She became a billionaire not because of followers or fame, but because she mastered her craft in silence. That's the level of power you can build when you obsess over your skill, not for attention, but for excellence. Step 3. Serve others quietly while growing yourself. This stage isn't just about personal growth. It's about purpose, about giving back, helping others rise while you continue rising. Muhammad Yunus, a Bangladeshi social entrepreneur, didn't have fame or wealth. He simply saw people suffering from poverty and decided to act. He started giving small loans, microcredit to the poor, especially women, to help them start businesses and build independence. No one knew him. No one gave him headlines. He worked in silence, helping thousands, then millions. Today, he's known as the father of microfinance, and he won the Nobel Peace Prize. But the most powerful thing? He didn't do it for recognition. He did it because real transformation isn't selfish. It multiplies. It lifts others as you rise. You too can serve, not by being famous, but by being present, by teaching, by giving time, by sharing your growth with someone who's struggling. That's how you make your success meaningful. Step 4. Live so disciplined you no longer rely on motivation. This is the final transformation. When you no longer need motivation to move, you move because it's who you are now. Angela Duckworth, a psychologist and former schoolteacher, studied why some people succeed and others don't. Her answer? Not talent, not intelligence, not money, but grit. The ability to stay consistent, disciplined, and focused long after the excitement is gone. She didn't just talk about it, she lived it. She earned her PhD while raising kids. She taught by day, studied by night, and built her legacy slowly. Her book, Grit, became a worldwide bestseller, not because it was flashy, but because it was real. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is how you become someone the old you could never even imagine. Wake up when you're tired. Study when you're not in the mood. Train when it's cold. Work when no one claps. Repeat, repeat, repeat until it becomes who you are. That's how you become the person you never thought you could be. When you disappear, people forget you. When you transform, people notice you. But when you become someone new, you don't need their attention. You don't need their permission. You don't need their validation, because now you have something better. You have self-respect. You have power. You have peace. This is not just motivation. This is a new life. One that you created. One that you earned. And if someone asks, "Who are you now?" you look them in the eyes and say, "I am the version of me that used to only live in my dreams, and I'm just getting started." You watched this video for a reason. Something inside you wanted to grow. Something inside you was tired of being the same. You've disappeared. You've worked in silence. You've come back stronger. And now you're not just alive. You are becoming unstoppable. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not next month, not one day. Now, the old version of you is gone. The version that was scared, lazy, confused, and tired. He's done. She's done. This is your rebirth. This is your new identity. This is your moment. And remember, you don't need motivation every day. You need a mission. And your mission starts now. So disappear, work in silence, return like a storm, and then become the person the world never saw coming. Because when you do that, they won't just notice you, they'll never forget you. If this message touched your heart, if you're ready to change your life, if you want to learn more, grow stronger, and become better every single day, subscribe, join this journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay silent, stay strong, stay dangerous.